Guys, gotta tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying the meltdown that is happening from the mainstream liberal media over this Paul Pelosi situation and Elon Musk taking over Twitter. Both of these things happen at the same time has created what is truly a spectacle of liberal left-wing tears that, again, are basically endless at this point. And these people are raging more than usual because they know that they're about to lose, okay? The inevitable about to happen. Their day of reckoning is about to come in the midterms, and they're just getting louder and louder and louder, and they're raging harder and harder and harder as a distraction from the real issues that are plaguing this country, which is inflation, the border, crime. We have an empty suit in the White House running the country. I'm just saying, we have real problems in this country, but they want us to talk about Elon Musk taking over Twitter and how dangerous that's supposed to be to democracy, and Paul Pelosi and how allegedly he was influenced by Trump, even though they don't have any real evidence to back up that claim. So the mainstream liberal media has gotten extra outraged because a mix of the two things that they're raging about the most has basically come together. As Elon Musk checked Hillary Clinton after Hillary Clinton basically tried to blame Republicans for the Paul Pelosi attack, Elon Musk tweeted an alternative theory about what may have happened with the Paul Pelosi situation. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, these people absolutely lost their minds. The liberal media could not stand the fact that Elon Musk committed the crime of presenting an alternative theory in regards to what may have happened to Paul Pelosi outside of mainstream liberal media narrative. Take a look.
Julian, I have to ask, could the Biden administration, could Democrats in Congress have said or done anything to prevent or even slow down this Musk purchase of Twitter? I feel like if George Soros had been buying Twitter, the right would have made far more noise and expressed more outrage. Dems just let it happen as if it's fine for Twitter to become yet another platform for misinformation and hate.
Well, there may have been, but I mean, at this point, I think it's going to be the responsibility of each and every one of us to do what we can to hold Elon Musk accountable. I agree with those who said that it's telling that he did end up backing off and deleted that tweet a few hours after he had put it up. Now, I agree with everybody. Look, I think he's acted very irresponsibly, immaturely. Frankly, Mehdi, I don't know how in the world this guy got to be the richest person in the world. Acting as irresponsibly and immaturely as he and erratically as we've seen him act, not just this week, but over the years. But it means that he will back off when there is pressure. And so folks who care about the truth, who care about protecting vulnerable communities, who ultimately are the ones who are going to be most hurt by his irresponsible behavior and allowing these voices of hate to be elevated on this huge platform, we have to keep pushing back. And my hope is that is going to make a difference in the long run.
There are many weak, deranged minds in this country, like the man who attacked Paul Pelosi. But Republicans have been hiding behind that word deranged, as if it was some isolated incident, and you should only look at that. Don't look at anything else, even if it's screaming out at you. And yet you can see where DePape's ideas came from in his blog posts, in his words, where is Nancy? In his plans, he brought zip ties with him. Deranged people can fall prey to a cult leader like Donald Trump. And they have.
Right now, trending on Twitter is the lie about this guy. It's the lie that...
It's trending.
It's trending on Twitter as we speak. Because Elon Musk pushed it on Saturday. Or yesterday, sorry. I just want to make it clear how they got to this place. So, first of all, lies on the internet move faster than the truth. And that's in part why there are all these safeguards that Elon Musk is trying to take down on Twitter right now. The lies that were pushed were from bad pieces of information they found. For example, they said that Paul Pelosi was in his underwear. Of course he was, 2:30 in the morning at the time he was attacked. That led them to believe this was a lover's quarrel between two different people that knew each other. The reason they believed they knew each other is because the police put out a statement saying that they didn't really know who opened the door. So that led them to believe there was a third person in the house. So from there was this world building on the pro-Trump internet. What could be the opposite of reality here? And the opposite of reality they came up with was these two people were having a lover's quarrel in a house, and the police sort of intruded on us. It's fundamentally incorrect. It was pushed by the richest man in the world. And then yesterday, it was pushed by Donald Trump Jr., who posted a picture of underwear and a hammer and said it's a Halloween costume for Paul Pelosi. If we don't cut this out right now, not just the normalization of violence, but the idea that reality can't even exist anymore because it cannot catch up to the lies on the internet. I'm not a scholar on authoritarian history, but I've read Hannah Arendt. I've read all of these people. Mm-hmm. This is how it gets really bad. This is the start of something that gets really, really bad. If you are getting the guardrails off the truth, where it literally cannot catch up to the lies on the internet because of how the pipes work, how the system works, because of the incentives of the richest people in the world, then that's how you lose your democracy.
Guys, I love how the left, they feel like they have a monopoly over what is defined as a conspiracy theory and what is not. Because in my opinion, I think it's a conspiracy theory to say that this guy was motivated by Trump, that he was a Trump supporter, he was a MAGA supporter, because there is no evidence that he was a Trump supporter. There is no evidence that he's a Republican. There is no evidence that he supports the GOP. There's no evidence at all that he is right-wing, okay? Outside of the fact that he shared some things that he allegedly shared things to suggest that he has distrust in the government, which again is a characteristic of both sides of the political aisle. If anything, there's more evidence to suggest that the guy is left-wing. Okay, I believe his lover came out and said that, you know, he doesn't necessarily have any real political views, but he does tend to kind of align with her very progressive views in terms of going along with that. Okay, the house that he lived at, apparently he lives in a school bus outside the house, but regardless, the house had BLM signs, LGBTQ flag, stop spreading hate, flag, you know, all types of stuff that is classic. This is ultra far left, you know, progressivism. Okay. The guy is a nudist. He's a hippie. Again, things that, in my opinion, lean left. These are things that I would associate with the left. But see, the mainstream liberal media wants to accuse everybody else of being out of touch with reality when it seems to me that they're actually out of touch with reality. Because this guy on MSNBC, Big Brain, the guy that was just talking in the last clip, I don't know his name, but this guy basically just went through why in the world do people believe that there's something else going on here? Oh, well, he was let in through the back door. Well, who let him in? They ended up in their underwear. Paul Pelosi called the guy his friend, knew his name and everything. I'm just saying. We're talking about 2:30 at night in San Francisco. I'm just saying. The conspiracy, right, or the theory that Elon Musk pushed is probably just as plausible, if not more plausible, than the conspiracy theory from the left that somehow, some way, this guy is a Trump supporter. Because again, there's more evidence, in my opinion, to support Elon Musk's conspiracy than it is that the guy is a Trump supporter. But again, don't let the facts get in the way of the narrative for the mainstream liberal media. Because what they're pissed off about, what they're mad about, is that they can't control the narrative anymore. Elon Musk taking over Twitter, why they're melting down so much? The reason why they're so upset is because they can't control the narrative anymore. They can't control those types of theories being put out there. Because these guys pretend that everything that the mainstream liberal media says is true. Okay, when we know for a fact, early on when stuff like this happens, that's when most of the information is the most unreliable. Okay, we're not really going to find out what happened until 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road. Months down the road, we're not going to find out. But the mainstream media wants you to believe that all the initial information that we get up front is true. It must be believed. And the conclusion to them is that, hey, this guy is a Trump supporter. He was motivated by Trump. He was influenced by far-right extremism. Even though we're early on, this thing happened only a few days ago. It's already settled according to the mainstream liberal media. That's what they want you to think. And anybody that presents any other alternative theories, regardless of the evidence, you are attacking democracy. You are an extremist. You are pushing conspiracy theories. Says the party that pushed the conspiracy theory that Trump and Putin were butt buddies working together in an attempt to overthrow the 2016 election. Okay? Says the people that told us that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Says the people that were constantly wrong about COVID, the pandemic, the vaccines, all that, right? Says the people who are wrong all the time. If you say anything different than what we're saying right now, then you are out of touch with reality. You're pushing conspiracies. When everything right now is a conspiracy in regards to what happened with this Paul Pelosi situation. And the biggest conspiracy theory, the biggest piece of disinformation that is currently being pushed right now is the idea that we know for certain that this guy was a Trump supporter, or that Trump influenced this, that this guy was some type of MAGA Republican. That is the biggest piece of misinformation / disinformation conspiracy theory that is being pushed right now. And it's being pushed by the mainstream liberal media, who are consistently wrong. They're consistently wrong on this stuff. But again, the problem here is that they're mad because they can't control the narrative. Okay? They're upset that they cannot censor opinions that they don't like. They don't like it. Elon Musk, they're in charge of Twitter. Oh my God. People are going to get alternative views, right? People are going to get other facts, okay, that don't go along with the mainstream liberal narrative, which is that, hey, this was Trump's fault. You remember that when you go to the polls, this was Trump's fault. Again, this is why they're so outraged. They can't use social media to try to sway the outcomes of elections anymore by censoring opinions, facts, and evidence that don't fit the mainstream liberal media narrative. Again, it's absolutely something amazing to behold. How these people lose their minds over the fact that people are allowed to say, hey, I don't think that this guy is a Trump supporter. I think that there's something else going on here. These people lose their mind over it. They can't stand it. Again, they don't want to participate in about ideas. If the so-called conspiracy theory about Paul Pelosi, right, that's outside the mainstream liberal media narrative, if that's so bad, then the facts and evidence will show that, hey, this is not true. Right? That's ultimately what will happen in the end. No, we can't do that, though. We can't let the facts and the evidence play out and let people make up their own minds in terms of what they want to believe. No. You have to believe what we believe. And if you don't, you should be censored. You should be kicked off social media. You're attacking democracy. Again, as if these people are the arbiters of truth, and you're not. In fact, you're the arbiter of lies, right? You're the arbiter of disinformation and misinformation. You've done nothing but lie and spread misinformation / disinformation basically since forever. And you want us to believe everything you say, right? We have to believe everything we say. We have to go along with your narrative when it is clear in this situation that you're straight up pushing a conspiracy, right? With no evidence that this man somehow was a Trump supporter. You do not know that at all. But that's not stopping you from saying it. Just like, hey, I don't know if Paul Pelosi was entangled, right? He was in some entanglement with, his secret lover. I don't know that. But I'm just saying, there's evidence to suggest that that could be the case. And we've seen this playbook before from the mainstream liberal media, right? With the Buffalo shooter. His manifesto, all the facts and evidence in his manifesto suggest that the guy is a left-winger. I mean, he basically came out and said, I am a left-winger, right? Liberal media says, no, this guy's a right-winger. He's a Trump supporter. He got influenced by Tucker Carlson, right? And again, with no evidence whatsoever. Guy said, I don't like Fox News. I don't like conservatives. I am a left-winger. Mainstream liberal media literally says the exact opposite of that. The exact opposite, right? In order to push a narrative, okay, that is false. To push disinformation / misinformation. So, I mean, at this point, my point is this. Everything about this Paul Pelosi situation is a conspiracy because none of us know exactly what happened, and we probably won't know until all the facts and evidence come out. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.